Ohio Christian University, it's the Trailblazer Basketball Network. The OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network, brought to you in part by
Domino's Pizza of Circleville, located on Lancaster Pike, 740-477-2541. 740-477-2541.
Circleville Subway is a proud sponsor of the OCU Trailblazers Basketball Network. Subway, eat fresh.
Service Master Clean by Todd George. They will help you get clean and stay that way at work and at home. 740-687-1077. Fairfield Christian Academy has a K-12 program that's committed to molding young minds to have a Christian worldview while providing an education of excellence. Learn more at fairfieldchristianacademy.com.
Thank you for watching the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to the Maxwell Leadership Center. Rick Cooper and the OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network, a Mid-East region doubleheader this afternoon as Johnson University from Knoxville, Tennessee, in town to take on your Trailblazers. Hi, everybody. It's Rick Cooper, the voice of the Trailblazers. It's great to have you with us here on the OCU Basketball Network. Final regular season games of the year for OCU, the men and the women. The Mid-East Regional will be in this building. It'll start on Thursday night. Neither the men nor the women will play on Thursday, but both will play on Friday. The women will take on this Johnson University team in the Mid-East region semis at 6 p.m. Next Friday night. The men do not know who they will play yet. They are locked in as the number 1 seed in the Mid-East region. They will play the winner of the 4-5 matchup that will be played in this building on Thursday night at 8 p.m. It's a second meeting of the year between Johnson and OCU. The Lady Trailblazers won in Knoxville back on January the 25th. They won 82-62. It was a tight game. Most of that basketball game, second half, was about 6-10 was the point differential, but Trailblazers pulled away in the end. And as you'll hear Mandy Ray say, the best game of the year for Caitlin Danner, actually went underneath the basket to do a lot of her damage. She led OCU with 17 points in that game. Johnson University, a team that has really started to make a transformation under Doug Carnes, who was the longtime athletic director here, coached the men for 27 seasons. It kind of retired, was done, and daughter Anissa was the athletic director and came back to Dad and said, Dad, we need somebody to coach this women's basketball program. He's agreed to do it for at least 3 years, but talking with Doug Carnes, he says, Rick, I'm enjoying this about as much as any men's team that I've coached in 27 years, and he may extend that, but he is committed to at least through next season. And he has done a nice job with Johnson University. 13-12 a season ago is what they finished. They sit at 11-12 coming into this game. Really a more concerted effort to recruit at Johnson. Typically, they would sit back and whoever showed up, they would go into the dorms. And as I think Kevin Hall told me, the men's coach, they actually had managers playing this year. They were so depleted on the men's side, but Doug Carnes, really a more concerted effort. All 5 freshmen that you see for Johnson today are all recruited athletes. They only have 7 in uniform today. Their goal was 15. They started earlier in the year with 14, got down to 10, and then at the second semester, they had a couple players leave the team, and so now they are going to try to finish 2012-2013 with 7. Several good ones to keep an eye on today. Their leading scorer is their 2-guard, Maddie Philippi. She is a freshman from Blunteville, Tennessee, averaging 16.5 points, and they've got a good post player, Whitney Moore, the 5'10 freshman from Knoxville that is averaging 13.5 points and 7.2 rebounds, and they've lost a couple. Imagine how good they could be if Ashley Rawls, who went down with an ACL tear right before the season, she was a second-team region performer a year ago when she averaged 11 and 7, and they lost quite a bit of production at the break as well when Chelsea Simbeck left the team on the 9th of January. January, she was averaging 13 points and 8 rebounds. So you put all that together, and with a more concerted emphasis on recruiting, and you can see why folks are excited in Knoxville as this Johnson program continues to work its way back to becoming a player in this Mideast region. But this is kind of a unique story today. These two teams will play this afternoon, and then they have locked in. They're going to play again next Friday in the Mideast region semis. KCU, the #1 seed, will not have to play until Saturday at 1 p.m. in the Mideast region final. But these two teams will be the 2 and the 3. OCU the 2, Johnson the 3. They will play in the Mideast region semifinals next Friday night at 6 p.m. And we'll have that broadcast for you with live video here on the Trailblazer Basketball Network. So that's a look at Johnson. On the OCU side, they had a 6-game winning streak snapped on Tuesday night when Alice Lloyd, an NAIA scholarship program, came into this building and beat the Trailblazers 76-70. It was nip and tuck affair down the stretch, but Alice Lloyd made more plays down the stretch, and they did snap OCU's 6-game win streak. Big stat in that game, the fact that Asia Woodson went down about 5 minutes in with an eye injury, and Woodson going to be out today as well. So Lady Trailblazers leading scorer at 15 points per game, not in uniform today. And then the big question that we posed to Mandy Ray, you'll hear it in a minute, is will Woodson be available for the regional tournament? That would be a devastating blow. As deep as this team is, 9 or 10 players, they obviously need the services of Asia Woodson moving forward here in the postseason. So that's a big key today. The couple seniors on this team, talking about Kara Zwick and Shelby Rowe, will both get the start. Chelsea Black reinserted into the starting lineup with Woodson out as well. We'll share that with you in a few moments. But let's take a break. When we come back, we'll check in with Mandy Ray to get her thoughts on this afternoon's contest. It's senior day here at OCU. Kara Zwick, Shelby Rowe being honored. Chelsea Black, a junior that is finishing up early, will be recognized as well. When we come back, we'll check in with Mandy Ray to get her thoughts on this afternoon's contest. OCU and Johnson, a Mideast region affair, and you're going to listen to it here on the OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network.
You're watching the Trailblazer Basketball Network. The OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network, brought to you in part by
Domino's Pizza of Circleville, located on Lancaster Pike, 740-477-2541. 740-477-2541.
Circleville Subway is a proud sponsor of the OCU Trailblazers Basketball Network. Subway, eat fresh.
Service Master Clean by Todd George. They will help you get clean and stay that way at work and at home. 740-687-1077. Fairfield Christian Academy has a K-12 program that's committed to molding young minds to have a Christian worldview while providing an education of excellence. Learn more at fairfieldchristianacademy.com.
If you're enjoying today's game, watch it again at trailblazerbasketball.tv.
Back here on the pregame shows, we get you set for Johnson and Ohio Christian, and OCU Lady Trailblazer head coach Mandy Ray joins us now. It is 16-11 OCU against 11-12 Johnson. And Coach, let's talk a little bit about this Johnson team, a team that really has made some progress under Doug Carnes the last 2 years. What has impressed you the most during this transformation?
I think they're definitely a lot more athletic than they have been in the past. Their two guards are shooting really well from the perimeter, and we had a close game against them for most of the game at their place. So they were ready to play, and they came out and played really hard, and they're definitely much improved.
3 girls, I think, looking at their stats, shooting 40% or better on threes, which is unheard of. How does that change what you do defensively today?
I think we just need to be aware of where they are, and I think it's 35, their post player that's shooting really well from the 3, and so that's kind of tough sometimes, because a lot of times you don't. Playing post defense, you're not prepared for that, so you're kind of used to running block to block and not having to pick up your person and know where they are out on the perimeter. So, we've talked about that, and we know that we need to be ready for that, so hopefully we'll come out and defend.
You mentioned it was close for 75% of the game. What was the difference you made? What was the difference down the stretch in that 20-point win?
I think we were able to wear them down a little bit. We just, we kept pressuring them, and defensively we were playing really aggressive. That was kind of our first game. I kind of view that game as kind of our turning point this year so far. We moved the ball better, a lot better on offense, and involved everybody. And we were kind of playing without some of our key players that game, but we had other people that stepped up big, and Caitlin finished with 17 and kind of showed she could play in the post a little bit, and so it was a good finish for us.
One thing Doug Carnes talked about when we talked to OCU was your depth, how much it hurt him. He talked, and you mentioned that when we've interviewed even before KCU, that you felt like that was an advantage against the Lady Knights. Just looking ahead to the postseason, how pleased are you right now with what you're getting out of number 6 through number 10 on this team?
I think it's really, we've had so much adversity and so many injuries and just different things from game to game this year that we've had to have different people step up, and it's frustrating sometimes for some of the girls because they won't get very much playing time at all in one game, and then another game they're, we're looking to them to, be have a major role. So I think it's good for them. And obviously it's good for us to know that we have that depth and that we can, when you want your top players to be on the floor, but if they're in foul trouble or they get hurt like Asia did on Tuesday with her eye and going out, and knowing that people are going to be able to come in and step up in her place is good.
Let's talk about that loss Tuesday, 76-70. Was it a setback for this program, or are there some things that happened in that game that you hope to build on today?
I don't think we viewed it as a setback. I mean, obviously anytime you lose, it's it's not a happy situation, but I think we were right there with 25 seconds left. We cut it to 71-70, and we were Asia went down in the first 5 minutes, so we lost our leading scorer at that point, and then Kara and Olivia were in foul trouble most of the second half and on the bench, and we got some good minutes from Sarah and Caitlin coming in and playing at the 4th spot, and like I said, we were right there, and things just didn't go our way at the end, and so there's a lot of positives that I think we can take from it and need to learn and keep getting better.
What's Woodson's status for today?
She's not able to play today.
Any other report moving forward with tournament play a week away?
We're hoping she'll be back sometime this week to practice.
Kind of unique today with Johnson, a team you're going to see in 6 days for sure in the Mid-East region semis. Do you coach differently because of that? Do you approach this game? Do you not show some things that you want to save for next weekend? How does that change the fact you're going to see them in 6 days again?
I don't think it really changes a whole lot. I mean, we want to come out and play our game and do what we do well, and try to improve some of the things. I mean, obviously if we can work on some of our defenses and things like that, but I mean, you can't worry about that so much as we just got to play our game.
Sure. And I know we're going to honor a couple of your seniors here this afternoon. Not sure exactly when that's happening. I heard after the women's game, but I'll have a chance later to ask you. But I'll ask you now the thoughts on what Shelby Rowe and the transfer Kara Zwick have meant to this team.
Yeah, we actually have 3 that we're going to recognize today with just Chelsea will be. She has 1 year left to play, but she's going to finish up and graduate.
Okay.
So, Shelby's been here 4 years. We've been through a lot together, and she got to play for a national championship and lost by 2 her freshman year, kind of almost at the buzzer kind of thing up in Pennsylvania, and obviously earlier this year she broke the all-time career scoring record and that kind of thing. So it's going to be a good time to get to honor them, and same with Kara and Chelsea both. Chelsea's played 3 years. This is her 2nd. It's a good day to get to honor them and recognize them for what they've accomplished here and their time here, and hopefully then in a couple weeks we'll be able to finish the season and finish their careers out on a good note.
Absolutely. Coach, appreciate your time. Look forward to some thoughts. Halftime of the men's game, if that's all right with you.
Okay, thanks.
That's great. It's Mandy Ray, the head coach of the Lady Trailblazers, as we get set for the final game of the 2012-2013 regular season as the Lady Jags take on your Trailblazers. We'll take a break here on the pregame show. When we come back, we'll meet this afternoon's starting lineups. It's OCU 16-11, Johnson 11-12. This is the OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network.
From Ohio Christian University, it's the Trailblazer Basketball Network. The OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network, brought to you in part by
Domino's Pizza of Circleville, located on Lancaster Pike, 740-477-2541. 740-477-2541.
Circleville Subway is a proud sponsor of the OCU Trailblazers Basketball Network. Subway, eat fresh.
Service Master Clean by Todd George. They will help you get clean and stay that way at work and at home. 740-687-1077. Fairfield Christian Academy has a K-12 program that's committed to molding young minds to have a Christian worldview while providing an education of excellence. Learn more at fairfieldchristianacademy.com.
Thank you for watching the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
Ball Network, good afternoon to you. The 2012-2013 campaign ends this afternoon, and it is Johnson that will be here as part of Senior Day festivities. Let's meet the Johnson starting lineup. They changed their name from Johnson Bible College to Johnson University, and they've kind of been searching for a nickname. The men still go by the Preachers as of today, but the women, while they search for that nickname, have kind of unilaterally changed their nickname to the Lady Jags. So let's introduce the Lady Jags starting lineup. First of all, the point guard is Kaylee Carter, 5'6" freshman from Knoxville, Tennessee. She's a co-captain on this team that is averaging 11.9 points, 3.1 rebounds, and a team best 3 assists. The two guard today is Maddie Philippi. She'll wear number 22. She's the team's leading scorer at 16.5 points per game, shooting also a team best from the field, from 3, from the free throw line. 45% from the field, 44% on threes, and 82% at the charity stripe. The small forward is Amanda Scheich. She'll wear number 12, 5'7" freshman from Whitetown, Indiana. 2.9 points and 3.6 rebounds. Johanna Couch will play the 4, number 20, 5'8" freshman from Gloucester, Ohio. Her mom, her dad, older brother, sister, all Johnson grads. Couch is averaging 5.1 points and 7 rebounds. And the man in the middle is Whitney Moore, 13.5 points, 7.2 rebounds for the 5'10" freshman from Knoxville, Tennessee. Got connected to Johnson through an AAU team where she was a teammate of the point guard Kaylee Carter. The head coach of Johnson University, second year as the women's coach, Doug Carnes. He's assisted today by Clay Young. Carnes, 27 years coaching the men here, has a wife of 40 years, Rita, and 2 kids, Nate, 37, and Anissa, the former women's coach and AD, 35. And Carnes wanted me to mention those 5 grandkids that spend a lot of his money and get a lot of hugs from Grandpa. 5 grandkids as well. We'll take a break while they do the national anthem and the opening prayer. We'll meet the Trailblazers starting lineup coming up next here on the OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network.
And we finally got to thank you for the safe travel mercies of all our.
From Ohio Christian University, it's the Trailblazer Basketball Network. The OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network, brought to you in part by
Domino's Pizza of Circleville, located on Lancaster Pike, 740-477-2541. 740-477-2541.
Circleville Subway is a proud sponsor of the OCU Trailblazers Basketball Network. Subway, eat fresh.
Service Master Clean by Todd George. They will help you get clean and stay that way at work and at home. 740-687-1077. Fairfield Christian Academy has a K-12 program that's committed to molding young minds to have a Christian worldview while providing an education of excellence. Learn more at fairfieldchristianacademy.com.
Thank you for watching the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
The national anthem means we're just minutes away from the opening tip. It's the OCU women in a Mid-East region battle against Johnson. The Lady Jags here at 11-12, 0-3 in Mid-East region play. OCU 16-11, 3-1 in region play. And we promised you those OCU starting lineups. Let's introduce them now to you. The point guard today is Tiaja Smith, 5'4" freshman from Gahanna Lincoln High School, 4.1 points and a team best 3.2 assists. She's also got a team high 2.2 steals per game. The two guard today is Chelsea Black, so Mandy Ray going with a smaller backcourt, the combo of Tiaja Smith and Chelsea Black, 5'5" junior from St. Paris, Ohio, 5 points and 3.1 rebounds. Shelby Rowe will play the small forward, 5'8" senior from Middletown, Ohio. She is the all-time leading scorer at OCU. Got that mark on the 2nd of November. All-national tournament team this past year. First team region in 2010, was honorable mention in the region a season ago. Had a school record 64 threes back in 2009 and has her high school record at Middletown Madison, record for threes in a season and in a single game as well. Shelby Rowe, a lot to be said about the senior from Middletown, playing her final regular season game, averaging 14.5 points, 3.1 rebounds, and 1.9 assists. She's shooting 36% behind the arc, which is number 7 in America. The small forward today, or she is the small forward, the power forward, I beg your pardon, is Maritza Will, 5'9" sophomore from Columbus, Franklin Heights High School, 5.8 points and 6.2 rebounds. Will shoots 43% from the field, and Kara Zwick, second-year player, 6-foot senior that transferred in from Cincinnati State, will play her final regular season game as well. Zwick will wear number 42. She averages 9.3 points and 5.8 rebounds, 1.6 steals, and an assist as well. Zwick 39% from the field, 33% on threes, and 70% from the charity stripe. The head coach of OCU in her 7th season is Mandy Ray, one time the top assistant for 2 years at Ohio Dominican, played on that state championship team at Bishop Hartley, but has been at the helm. Boy, does time fly. 7 years for Mandy Ray, 108 wins, 96 losses. She wins at a clip of 53%. She's assisted tonight, as she always is, by OCU's second all-time leading scorer, Brenda Carter Baker. And again, Ray, 108, 96 in 7 seasons. Got a husband, Scott, and 3 daughters. Kylie, 6, Alexis, 4, and Jaden, who will turn 2 next month. The Trailblazers and Lady Jags will play again on Friday night in this building in the Mid-East region semifinals, a 6 p.m. tip. Airtime with the pregame show, and that one is 5:40. And we will have that game. We'll have the men's semifinal on Friday night. And we'll have every game at that Mid-East region tournament. Thursday's games will be audio-only broadcast, so you use those listen live links that are on the OCU website. Everything on Friday and Saturday will be video broadcast. Comparing these two teams, OCU number 3 in the nation, 70 a game. They give up 66 plus 4. Johnson 57 a game. They give up 65, -8. Johnson 41% from the field. OCU 37%. Trailblazers 31% on threes, number 6 nationally. Johnson 43% as a team on three-pointers this year. Johnson 66% at the line. OCU 65%. Trailblazers -1 rebounding margin. Johnson -2. And that is a look comparing these two teams. And we're just about set as Johnson controls the opening tip, thrown up by Ron Dent, and quickly to the other end. The shot up close by Maddie Philippi. Their leading scorer is no good, and the Trailblazers with the rebound. Left side, it's Chelsea Black. Back out to Shelby Rowe. Around the horn to the right wing, and Tiaja Smith. Backdoor Rowe got free and put it in. I didn't see the screen, but somebody must have done something, because Shelby Rowe, uncontested on a backdoor cut backside, scores the first 2 points of this game. And we are underway from Ohio Christian University in beautiful Circleville, Ohio, a Saturday matinee that will wrap up the 2012-2013 campaign. Underneath, Amanda Scheich. Scheich back out to Whitney Moore. Moore into the lane. Little sweeping hook is no good, and the rebound is grabbed by senior Kara Zwick. Zwick to Tiaja Smith, who will set things up for OCU to the left wing. And junior Chelsea Black back around to Rowe, around the right side, Smith. Zwick wanted a touch underneath. Smith would have done better to get that thing as a bounce pass. Instead, it was deflected right back into her hand. Shot clock at 5. Zwick left elbow jumper is right there. First two for the senior from Harrison, Ohio. So we said pregame, the Cincinnati State transfer. Second year with OCU. Left side, Whitney Moore for 3, and she answers. Whitney Moore, 40% on threes coming in. And what's insane is that 40% is only third best on this Johnson team. Maddie Philippi, 44%, and the point guard, Kaylee Carter, at 41. Right side, it's Tiaja Smith to the right baseline and Rowe. 3 on the way, backside of the iron, no good, and Johnson the rebound in the form of freshman Maddie Philippi, the freshman from Blunteville, Tennessee. Philippi around to the right side, into the hands of the point guard Carter, who tried to penetrate. Good help there. Philippi will fire a 3 that hit the right side of the rim, no good. Rebound Black, a long outlet to Zwick. Zwick on the run, left side. Zwick underneath, little turnaround is right there. Second field goal here early for Kara Zwick, and OCU has extended their advantage to 3. It's 6-3. Just underway here on a Saturday afternoon here in Circleville, Ohio. Rick Cooper and the Trailblazer Basketball Network. It's great to have you with us. Top of the key, it's Carter into the lane, and she was bodied up there by Tiaja Smith.
White 13, push.
Smith's first, team first, non-shooting foul, so the inbound here from Amanda Scheich, another freshman from Whitestown, Indiana. This whole starting 5 is brand new this year. Doug Carnes had a nice lineup a season ago, was a lot of underclassmen. The only girl that was going to graduate was Tammy McGurk, and felt like there was a lot of momentum, and he has had to reload entirely as Ashley Rouse went down with an ACL injury before the first game. She was a double-digit scorer and nearly a double-digit rebounder. They lost Chelsea Simbeck, a second-team region performer at the break. We'll talk about that in a minute as Black got into the lane and converts on a steal at the other end. 8-3 OCU, so they lost Simbeck, a second-team region performer, and then they had 2 other underclassmen that were starters that did not come back. One that Doug Carnes kind of said was just MIA, and the other went to a beauty school. So he has had to really reload and has done a fantastic job here in his second season with the women. Runner left side, no good, but Whitney Moore cleaned up the trash. She got an offensive rebound and dropped it in. 5 points for Whitney Moore. It's cut it to a 1-possession game. It's 8-5. Rowe into the lane, dropped it off to Will. Back out Black. Her 3 is right there. So Chelsea Black, that's a good sign. Really probably the streakiest shooter on this team. I have never seen somebody in the Trailblazer blue do what Chelsea Black did for about a 2-week stretch a season ago against UC Claremont and others. Top of the key jumper is in by Kaylee Carter. What she did in terms of shooting the basketball, I'm not sure I've seen by any Division II women's player in my 20 years of covering this level of athletics. Tiaja Smith on a backdoor cut, dropped it off to Will, who went to the left hand and put it in. But then you combine that with the fact that she has really struggled at times this season, and that's why we say that Black really a streaky shooter and really could make a big difference come tournament time if she's shooting it well. Couch had her shot blocked underneath by Will and taken away by Maritza Will. Black will set it up, 15-18 to play in the half. Left side Rowe, her 3 came up short and it goes out of bounds back to Johnson. So good crowd on the weekend. Many of the students go home here at OCU, and so a decent crowd for a matinee affair. They'll honor the seniors from these 2 teams in between these 2 games. They'll recognize the men and the women together. We'll have that for you. Into the lane, runner by Philippi is no good, but somebody tripped her up in the process, and she'll shoot 2, and that somebody is 42, Kara Zwick. It's her first, team second, and Maddie Philippi, the freshman from Bluntville, Tennessee, the team's best, 82% at the line. The first one is up and in. So Philippi in the books. Doug Carnes says she is my best outside shooter, was a 1,000-point scorer in high school at Sullivan Central High School down in Tennessee, and she converts on the second as well. 15:02 to play, and Doug Carnes has called a full timeout. We'll take it with him. 15:02 to play first half. OCU 13, Johnson 9. It's OCU basketball here on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
From Ohio Christian University, it's the Trailblazer Basketball Network. The OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network, brought to you in part by
Domino's Pizza of Circleville, located on Lancaster Pike. 740-477-2541. 740-477-2541.
Circleville Subway is a proud sponsor of the OCU Trailblazers Basketball Network. Subway, eat fresh.
Service Master Clean by Todd George. They will help you get clean and stay that way at work and at home. 740-687-1077. Fairfield Christian Academy has a K-12 program that's committed to molding young minds to have a Christian worldview while providing an education of excellence. Learn more at fairfieldchristianacademy.com.
Thank you for watching the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
15:02 to play. 15:02 to play first half. Trailblazers lead is 4. It's 13-9. Stick around at halftime of this game. Special interview with Josh Merton, the OCU men's and women's soccer coach. We're going to find out what's going on in the world of soccer. And a lot going on, we'll tell you that. The OCU men have been in the hunt for a national championship. The women have made quite a run over the last couple years as well, though the KCU women have prohibited them from punching a ticket to Kissimmee, Florida the last couple seasons. But we'll check in with Josh Merton, find out what's going on in the offseason, how recruiting is going, and what the future of OCU men's and women's soccer holds. So stick around at halftime for that special interview with Josh Merton from the OCU soccer program. Top of the key, it's Carter. Picked up by Tiaja Smith with 3 on the shot clock. They tried to get in underneath to Whitney Moore, and that pass was taken away. A 3-way collision out near midcourt, and they're going to call a travel on Tiaja Smith, who is not only called for a violation, but slow to get up after she collided with a couple Lady Jags. And it's an interesting call, to say the least. She had possession of it and collided with 2 players going to the ground, and gotta believe there was maybe just a little bit of contact. You'll have to rewind that if you're watching it archived on the Trailblazer TV YouTube channel and see whether there was some contact. Sure looked like it from a live vantage point. Right baseline, it's 12 Scheich. Drops it off to Carter, the point guard. Carter trying to run her, and Olivia Davis, who has checked in, came over and blocked her shot. Davis to Zwick. Zwick to the other end, put it in, and she was fouled. Bucket is good by Kara Zwick. The foul is going to be charged to 22. Maddie Philippi, it's her first and the team first, and Kara Zwick off to a good start in this first half already with 6 points. She'll look for 7 with 1 more. Kara Zwick bounces the basketball and then bends the knees and fires good. So Zwick with 7. As we said, Caitlin Danner is checked in. So is Olivia Davis. They join Chelsea Black, Shelby Rowe, and Kara Zwick. So the 3 players finishing their careers with OCU this season stay on the floor, and would expect them to log bigger than normal minutes this afternoon. Left side, Philippi got past Rowe, but Davis blocked another one. Fortunately for Johnson, it ended up in Whitney Moore's hands, and she dropped in another. Second time that Whitney Moore already has been in the right place at the right time underneath the rim, and give her credit for positioning herself well. She's got 7 points. 16-11, OCU by 5. Here's Zwick, another elbow jumper. Hit one from the left, and now going to show the versatility as she hits one from the right, and a timeout is going to be stopped here Play going to be stopped momentarily by one of the Lady Jags. Needs to tie a shoe, and referee gracious enough to grant that. It allows a couple subs to come in. Rowe is going to sit down. Sarah Bechtel is checked in, the sophomore from Worthington Kilbourne High School. Also checking in the freshman from Fairland High School, Katie Fuller. Sitting down are Zwick and Rowe. So a very small lineup right now for OCU, as Olivia Davis really the only post presence, though Danner did have 17 underneath in the earlier meeting, and Whitney Moore just hit again. Whitney Moore with 10 points already. And it is 18-14. The lead is 4. And so Mandy Ray talked about that in the pregame. It's one thing to have guards shooting 40%. Whitney Moore doing it at the 5. Jumper top of the key. Believe that was Fuller. And Olivia Davis tried to save it in bounds. And the outside hitter for the, or middle hitter for the volleyball team punched that one with her right foot as she couldn't save it in play. And it's back to Johnson. 12:28 to play. It's something we would expect from Danner, not from Davis, but showing some versatility, I guess. Lead is 4. With it left wing is number 20, Johanna Couch. Couch underneath, little turnaround by Scheich. Bounces around the rim and went in. Good fan base here today for Johnson. A good crowd in attendance. A couple of these girls, Forsythe is from Mansfield. Johanna Couch a couple hours away in Gloucester, Ohio, and had a chance to talk to Couch pregame and said some of her family here, but a good crowd who made the trip from either Ohio or somewhere down in Tennessee. Danner with it, hands it off to Fuller. Shot clock is at 7. Fuller, 17-footer around the rim, no good. Moore had the rebound, but she was immediately tied up by Olivia Davis, and the possession arrow favors OCU. So Trailblazers lead is 2, 11:46 to play in the half. Inbound to Olivia Davis to Fuller. Here comes off that screen the inbounder Black, who fires a 3, no good, into the hands of a flat-footed Maddie Philippi. Philippi, a quick outlet to Scheich down at the other end, established herself and put it in. She did a nice job of allowing the defender to fly by, and Scheich then very methodically raised up and put it in. 18-18, tied with 11:20 to play in the half. And a foul out top by Maddie Philippi, who tried to slow down Chelsea Black. Today's game is brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Domino's handmade pan pizza comes with 2 layers of cheese, toppings to the edge, and a crust made from fresh dough. A medium 2-topping pan pizza, only $7.99 at Domino's Pizza, 207 Lancaster Pike in Circleville. Call 740-477-2541. Tasia Smith back in as Chelsea Black sits down. Right side, it's Fuller. Back out to 3 on the way for Danner that hit the right side of the iron. Fuller unable to run it down, and it goes out of bounds to Johnson. Anna Fales makes her first appearance, a sophomore from Rockford, Michigan, a co-captain on this team, along with Kaylee Carter, checks in as Philippi will sit down. Carter, the co-captain, breaks the pressure with the dribble and goes right to the rim and finishes. Nobody stopped basketball, and Kaylee Carter at full speed said thank you very much. She went straight to the rim and put it in. So 10:58 to play. Mandy Ray wants a 30-second timeout as Johnson, on a little mini run of their own, has taken a 20-18 advantage. Again, they're doing it on the Lady Jags with 5 freshmen and 2 sophomores. If you count Ashley Rawls, they have 3. Rawls, of course, 11 points, 7 rebounds a season ago, but she tore her ACL right before game number 1. And so 5 freshmen, all in the starting lineup, 3 sophomores, and have had a nice season. A win today for Johnson would get them to 500. They finished 13-12 a season ago in Doug Karn's first year coaching the women. He spent 27 years coaching the men. He took them to a national tournament back in, 2006. They had a nice run with the big fella, Justin Hayes, and some of those guys on the perimeter that could really get it done. Clint Sharp, I believe, was the point guard on that team. A good era of Johnson basketball, as Caitlin Danner was just hammered by Johanna Couch, and Danner will go to the line and shoot 2. First on Johanna Couch, second on the team. And Caitlin Danner will step to the line and shoot 2. Danner, a 47% free throw shooter, and that one bounces around the rim and drops in. First point of the game for the freshman from Waynesville, Ohio, was a member of the OCU women's soccer team, was Caitlin Danner, so she has only played in 15 of OCU's 27 games this season as a result, and she puts in the second. So Danner hits a pair, and OCU has tied this game at 20 apiece with 10:35 to play in the half. Rick Cooper and the OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network, it's great to have you with us. Across the timeline, it's number 10, Kaylee Carter. Carter picked up her dribble, goes left wing to Anna Fales. To the baseline and more. Backing down Davis, trying to go to a left-handed shot and was blocked by Davis, and then it looked like Whitney Moore touched that basketball before it went out of bounds. And David Spillman made the call. Lucas Tuggle and Ron Dent did not overrule him, and there's a steal off the inbound by Tiaja Smith, and then they're going to get a reach in, I believe, on Whitney Moore. I don't like either of those calls. I thought Olivia Davis was right on the initial play that it should have been OCU basketball, and I felt like right there that should have been a tie-up and not a foul on Whitney Moore. So I think the officials 0 for 2 on that possession. 10-10 to play, tied at 20. The foul on Moore is her first. And the team fourth into the lane, and Sarah Bechtel to the rim. We don't see that very often for the three-point specialist, but she got to the lane and kissed it off the glass. First points for Sarah Bechtel. OCU 22, Johnson 20. Under 10 minutes to play in the half. Scheich, top of the key, 3 on the way by Carter, no good. And a good box out by Caitlin Danner for OCU. Danner to the right side, picked up there by Fales. Into the lane, Smith, and a foul is going to be called on, I believe, Amanda Scheich, and they're going to say Tiaja Smith in the active shooting. She'll get 2. Foul on Amanda Scheich is her first, team 5th. And 2 free throws coming up here for Tiaja Smith, and the first one is no good. Smith is only a 40% free throw shooter, 12 of 30 coming into this one this afternoon. 9:33 to play. Trailblazers by 2. Second free throw is good. So Tiaja Smith splits a pair. She's in the books with her first point, and it gives OCU a 3-point lead as Danner immediately slaps the ball out of the hands of Taryn Forsythe. Forsythe is checked in, 5'7" sophomore from West Mansfield that ran cross country at Johnson a season ago. Did not run it this year. One of 2 second-year players in uniform today. 9:25 to play here in the opening half. Again, the ball slapped out of bounds by OCU. Johnson again will keep it. With it is Amanda Scheich into Kaylee Carter. Carter top of the key to the left wing, and Amanda Fales. Fales guarded by Fuller. Fales looking, now tried to go by. Fuller put it up and in. Bechtel came over and tried to provide help, and somehow Fales, in the process of ripping that thing away from Bechtel, threw it up at the rim and put it in. 23-22, and there's a steal. Fales on the run again. Fales into the lane, her shot up close, no good. Forsythe tried to save it in bounds, but could not do it, and it'll go back to OCU. So 23-22 Trailblazers, 8:54 to play here in the first half. Rick Cooper and the OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network. It's great to have you with us for the final regular season games for the Trailblazers here in 2012-2013. Right baseline, it's Fuller going to launch a 3 that missed everything, and the athletic Olivia Davis snags the rebound. No reset on the shot clock. It's down to 6. Fuller into the lane, and her runner with about 5 on the clock is no good, but she was fouled, and it's number 2 on Amanda Scheich. Katie Fuller to the free throw line, the freshman from Proctorville, Ohio. Fairland High School, was 23-1, was that high school program her senior year, and the first one is no good. You got to believe it's either her or Woodson that have traveled furthest to be a part of this program. Proctorville, Ohio, right across the river from Huntington, West Virginia, some of my old stomping grounds with the Thundering Herd of Marshall. 23-22, one more for Fuller. 57% shooter, splits a pair here. So 5 of 7 are the Trailblazers unofficially here in this first half. Shelby Rowe back in. Fuller will sit down. So it is Will, Smith, Rowe, Danner, and Zwick. Couple subs come in. Will and Zwick back in as well. Cross court to Anna Fales, who will fire a 3. Front of the rim, no good. Smith the rebound. Trailblazers looking to run. 1-on-1. It's Rowe against Scheich. Rowe to the rim, no. Offensive rebound, Danner, no good. Danner fighting again, and Danner could not keep it in play. It goes out of bounds back to the Lady Jags. 8:06 to play first half. Trailblazers lead is 2, 24-22. That knock out of bounds is like a made basket. It allows OCU to apply pressure, and a foul is going to be called on Tiaja Smith, and that is number 2 on Tiaja. So number 3 on the team, which is a good sign with 8 minutes to play, but unfortunately for the Trailblazers, 2 of those 3 on Tiaja Smith. Maddie Philippi is back in for Johnson. Is sitting down is Taryn Forsythe. 8 minutes exactly to play in the half. Trailblazers lead is only 2, 24-22. Right side, it's Anna Fales. Fales guarded by Shelby Rowe, drops it off to Johanna Couch. Couch picked it up and threw it away. It's intercepted by Tiaja Smith. Smith to the other end, beat Carter to the basket, could not finish. Zwick had a putback, no. Will went to the left hand and put it in. They gave an award to the best left hand on this team. It would go to Maritza Will. Boy, does she do a nice job underneath the rim, shooting it with the right or shooting it with the left. She can do either, and boy, what an advantage that is if you can go to the left hand under the rim, especially as Philippi put it in. Mandy Ray wants a timeout, but especially when you're Zwick at 5'9", she's not 6 foot, she's not 5'11", she's a little bit undersized, and using that left hand allows you to get shots off against bigger players. I made my livelihood at this level playing the post using the left hand. Today's game is brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Again, you can try Domino's handmade pan pizza with 2 layers of cheese. They'll give you toppings to the edge. They'll give you a great crust made from fresh dough. It's a medium 2-topping pan pizza. It's only $7.99 at Domino's Pizza, 207 Lancaster Pike in Circleville. Call 740-477-2541. First of 2 today, the OCU and Johnson men will square off this afternoon. That game's slated for a 3 p.m. start, and we'll have that one with you, for you, here on Fairfield Media on the Trailblazer Basketball Network. 7:16 to play. Mandy Ray not happy as she brought the ladies over during that timeout. Johnson hanging around, so you know, that number 1 seed in this region was a big deal. Both the Trailblazers and the Knights are probably, if OCU wins this game, they're both going to finish in the region with a 3-1 record, but the way they handle tiebreakers, it comes down to power points, basically how you did against the bigger NAIA schools, and KCU has the advantage there, and because of that, they get the number 1 seed, and they don't have to play till Saturday in the region championship, and they get to watch OCU bang on this Johnson team Friday night. And if you're KCU, you want that game going to about 7 overtimes, where the winner expends an awful lot of energy while you rest and eat hot dogs and popcorn in the stands. 6:45 to play, 26-24. Moore is back in, lost the basketball, but it ends up in Couch's hands, who's immediately fouled by Maritza Will. Foul on Maritza Will is her first and the team 4th. It was a non-shooting foul, so Johnson will inbound underneath their own basket. To do so is Anna Fales, and Fales threw it out of bounds, and they're going to get some help here and say who touched that last, and they're going to say it went off of Johnson. It'll go back to OCU. So 6:38 to play as the basketball bounces right near us at midcourt. Trailblazers by 2 with 6:33 now to play in the opening half. Left side, it's Danner. Danner, dribble drive, setting up Rowe. Now to the right elbow, Zwick, another 15-footer. That's the third elbow jumper that Kara Zwick has already hit in this first half. She's got 11 points. And there's a steal by Rowe. Right side Danner underneath to Will. They overplayed and missed. Will could not finish. Ball on the floor. Will on the floor, and a jump ball is going to be called, and this time the possession arrow will give it back to the Lady Jags. So good effort there. Will got a good look after the Johnson frontline player tried to steal the pass down to the post. Once she missed, it left Will all alone. I'm not sure Maritza realized how open she was, and the basketball coming right near us at press row yet again. 6:04 to play. Trailblazers by 4, 28-24. Whitney Moore to inbound near midcourt. Does so to the point guard, Kaylee Carter. Puts the thumb up to run the play for the Lady Jags. Anna Fales, sophomore from Rockford, Michigan, drops it off to Johanna Couch, who just traveled, no call. Kaylee Carter's left elbow jumper was blocked out of her hand by Danner. Danner to Rowe, back out to Black, who will set things up with 5:40 to play in the half. Special halftime interview with Josh Merton from the OCU soccer programs at halftime, so be sure to stick around for that. And Zwick frustrated as she missed a sweeping hook, and the ball went out of bounds off of Maritza Will. Zwick got a good look there, and Zwick kind of brushes it off. I love the gesture by Zwick as she pushes her hands down the side of her body as if to say it's over and done with, and let's get him next time. 28-24, and a blocking foul is going to be charged to Caitlin Danner as she tried to apply pressure to Kaylee Carter up the floor. Foul on Danner is her first and the team fifth, so OCU now with 5 as a team, Johnson with 6 here with 5:23 to play in the opening half. Across the timeline, it's Maddie Philippi, their leading scorer, that has been held to only 4 points. She's been quiet in this first half. A little stop and start there. Good move by Philippi. She just could not finish. Rebound OCU. Dangerous outlet to Rowe, and Rowe tried to save it inbounds to Maritza Will, but that save was deflected out of bounds. It'll remain in the hands of the Trailblazers. 24 on the shot clock, 5:02 to play first half. Rick Cooper in the OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network. Rowe, the inbounder, coming off that screen on the baseline, comes up short for 3. And the Lady Jags with an opportunity to cut this to a one-possession game if they can score here. 4:45 to play in the half. Anna Fales. Back out to Whitney Moore. Moore at her pocket pick, but a reach-in foul is going to be charged to Kara Zwick, and now that is number 6 on OCU, and it's number 2 on Zwick. So Tiaja Smith already on the OCU bench with 2. Zwick is going to sit down with 2 as well, as Olivia Davis quickly off the bench. Davis returns scoreless here in the first half. Zwick sits down with 11 and 2 fouls. And Fales getting ready to bring it in, maybe having a little bit of trouble, and Doug Carnes wants a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here and tell you again that the official pizza sponsor of OCU all season long has been our good friends at Domino's Pizza, 207 Lancaster Pike in Circleville. The phone number is 740-477-2541. You can try Domino's handmade pan pizza. Comes with 2 layers of cheese, toppings to the edge, and a crust made from fresh dough. That medium 2-topping pan pizza is only $7.99 at Domino's Pizza, 207 Lancaster Pike in Circleville. Call 740-477-2541. 4:39 to play opening half. Trailblazers clinging to a 4-point advantage as Anna Fales, the sophomore from Michigan, brings it in for Johnson, gets it out to Maddie Philippi. Philippi into the lane, and a foul is going to be charged on one of the Trailblazers, going to be charged to Maritza Will, who tried to provide some help, and instead of providing help, she picked up a 3rd foul in the process. 2nd foul, I beg your pardon. And the first free throw is up and in for Maddie Philippi. Philippi now with 5 points in this game. Johnson a perfect 3 of 3 from the charity stripe and make it 4 of 4. This is a 2-point game as we near 4.5 minutes to play first half. Shawan Gadsden going to check in for OCU at the first and the next dead ball. Left wing is Shelby Rowe. Rowe to the baseline, and Davis going to fire a three that grazed the front of the rim. No good. Maddie Philippi, the defensive rebound. Philippi, quick pass underneath to Carter, and Carter tried to save it in bounds but could not do it. It'll go right back to OCU, and Fairfield Media cameraman putting his life on the line underneath that basket to provide you the footage from under that bucket. Glad he's okay, and JT Burcham would say, I'm glad my camera underneath that basket is okay as well. Left wing, it's Danner off a screen from Gadsden, who does check in, rolls to the middle of the floor, drops it off to Rowe on the baseline. Back out to Gadsden. Right side runner, came up short at the side of the backboard. Couch had the rebound, lost it. Carter got it, and she was fouled after she finally grabbed possession of that basketball, and it's going to be 22. Olivia Davis, that's picked up her first. It is the 8th on the team, and so we will walk to the other end and shoot the 1-and-1, and Johnson with an opportunity here to tie this game with 3:50 to play in the first half. One-and-one opportunity here for Kaylee Carter, and it goes in and out. So Johnson misses their first free throw. And again, that would have given them an opportunity to tie it with 2 there. Instead, the OCU advantage remains at 2, 28-26. Right side, Gadsden, right wing, Fuller for 3, missed everything. Black tried to save it, and did she? Yes, she did. Good hustle by junior Chelsea Black, who threw it off the foot of Johanna Couch, and it'll stay with OCU. Now they're going to no reset on that shot clock. Ball never hit the rim, and Johnson never had the possession. It's down to 10. I don't know if OCU knows it. Now they do. Black will fire a 3, and she hits. Calm, cool, and collected. 8 points for Chelsea Black to the other end. Shot no, but Maddie Philippi is going to shoot 2, and that's going to be charged to Shelby Rowe. First on Rowe, team's 9th, and Philippi in the act of shooting. She is an 82% free throw shooter. First one is up and good. So Maddie Philippi becoming a factor, came in averaging just under 17 a game, has 6 already, and make it 7 as she hits a pair. And the OCU advantage is 31-28, 3:15 to play in the half. Josh Merton from the OCU soccer teams will join us at halftime as Shelby Rowe's runner on the baseline is up and in. 33-28, Trailblazers with a little bit of breathing room. They lead by 5 with 3 minutes to play in the first half. Back door, good idea by Fales, but she led Carter a little bit too far. Carter was all alone, and that would have been 2 points if they could have connected. Instead, it's a turnover, and the Trailblazers an opportunity to extend here on a 5-point advantage. Black left wing, dribbling with that left hand. Rowe off a screen, will catch and fire, and hits. Shelby Rowe. 7 points, 36-28 OCU, 2:30 to play in the opening stanza. Right side, Philippi into the lane, and Olivia Davis blocked another shot. Davis is as athletic as any big that Mandy Ray has had in 7 seasons. She's only a freshman, blocked that one with her left hand. The only unfortunate thing, if you're a Trailblazer fan, she couldn't keep it in play. Knocked it out of bounds. Johnson will bring it in with Anna Fales. Fales looking, and having some trouble, and just gets it into Whitney Moore, will catch and fire. Fading a little bit was Moore, and it came up short as a result. Fuller back out to Rowe, left baseline, Fuller, quick catch and fire, grazed the side of the rim, no good. Moore saved it, but she saved it into the hands of Rowe. Back to Fuller, now to Chelsea Black. Around the horn to the right baseline, and Rowe. 20 on the shot clock, 2 minutes to play in the games. Davis went to a left hand underneath and put it in. First 2. Davis blocked a shot with the left hand at the other end, and now goes to a sweeping hook underneath with the left hand. Trailblazers lead all of a sudden out of nowhere is 10. I think this game may have been tied at 28. If not, it was 28-26. Into the lane, runner by Carter is no good. Davis a rebound in a long outlet. She led Black a little bit too far as fails. Got to it first for the team wearing blue. 23 on the shot clock, minute 23 to play in the half. 38-28, and what, a 5-second call, I'm going to assume, as Fuller was right there guarding Kaylee Carter, and I think that's the call that Dave Spillman just made. It'll give it back to OCU. These are the points in the game when you're a team like Johnson that you got to hold the fort and not let things expand. They were in this game trailing by only 2 and a little mini run, and now you go into the locker room potentially down by 10. Davis double team. Cross court to Gadsden. 12-footer. Backside of the rim, no good. And the rebound into the hands of Philippi. Philippi with under a minute will bring it up right side, guarded by Gadsden. Got by Gadsden and went into the lane and had her shot blocked, but she was fouled in the process by Olivia Davis, and that is number 2 on Olivia Davis. So the foul's beginning to mount a little bit. Tiaja Smith on the bench with 2. Davis now with 2. And Maritza Will and Kara Zwick both on the bench with 2 fouls apiece as well. And Philippi just put the free throw up and in. So Philippi now with 8. It'll be Sarah Bechtel, and I believe going to come in for Olivia Davis, as Mandy Ray doesn't want any more of her bigs and any more foul trouble. Again, it's Davis, Zwick, and Will, each with 2 fouls already, and the point guard Tiaja Smith with 2 as well. Second free throw, pinballs in and out for Maddie Philippi, so the lead will stay at 9. Right side, it's Black, quickly to the other end, off the glass, no good, and the rebound for Whitney Moore. See if the Lady Jags try to do a 2-for-1, and they don't. Doesn't look like it. They're going to hold it here with about a 12-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Off a screen to the middle of the floor, Carter, and she was tripped up, either Fuller or Gadsden, the guilty party, and they're going to charge the foul to Katie Fuller. It's her first, and the team is over the 10-foul limit, so Kaylee Carter, the freshman from Knoxville, Tennessee, will get 2 regardless of what she does here on the first. Carter, a 77% free throw shooter, bends the knees and hits. Kaylee Carter met Doug Carnes through an AAU program, a faith-based program called Fury. Carter's dad coached another team, some younger girls in that faith-based program, and became connected to Doug Carnes, and they decided it would be a good fit. They were blown away, were Carter's family, when they arrived at Johnson, which is there's no it's in the middle of nowhere, and they couldn't believe the fine facilities that were out there, and were excited to have the opportunity to send Kaylee there. And eventually it was Whitney Moore that came to know Johnson because of Carter as well. 3 on the baseline is no good. Bechtel tried to save it with 5 seconds left, but it goes out of bounds off OCU, and so 5 seconds left. Whitney Moore to inbound, 38-31. This is the first half. They inbound to Carter. Carter going to try to beat the buzzer, threw it up at the rim, but could not get it to go. So 20 minutes in the books here in the Maxwell Leadership Center. OCU with a 38-31 halftime advantage. Coming up, Josh Merton from OCU men's and women's soccer will join us. We'll talk a little bit about the soccer teams and what's going on here with them, but we'll have also all your first half numbers and a preview of game number 2 between the OCU and Johnson men. All that is coming up after this 2-minute timeout here on the OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network.
You're watching the Trailblazer Basketball Network. The OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network, brought to you in part by
Domino's Pizza of Circleville, located on Lancaster Pike, 740-477-2541. 740-477-2541.
Circleville Subway is a proud sponsor of the OCU Trailblazers Basketball Network. Subway, eat fresh.
Service Master Clean by Todd George. They will help you get clean and stay that way at work and at home. 740-687-1077. Fairfield Christian Academy has a K
I knew
through
that
12
attending Ohio
program that's
Christian
committed to
University
molding young minds to have a Christian worldview while providing an education of excellence. Learn more at fairfieldchristianacademy.com.
If you're enjoying today's game, watch it again at trailblazerbasketball.tv.
7 OCU now, or visit us at ohiochristian.edu.
From Ohio Christian University, it's the Trailblazer Basketball Network. The OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network, brought to you in part by
Domino's Pizza of Circleville, located on Lancaster Pike, 740-477-2541. 740-477-2541.
Circleville Subway is a proud sponsor of the OCU Trailblazers Basketball Network. Subway, eat fresh.
Service Master Clean by Todd George. They will help you get clean and stay that way at work and at home. 740-687-1077. Fairfield Christian Academy has a K through 12 program that's committed to molding young minds to have a Christian worldview while providing an education of excellence. Learn more at fairfieldchristianacademy.com.
Thank you for watching the Trailblazer Basketball Network. You're watching the Trailblazer Basketball Network. The OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network, brought to you in part by
Domino's Pizza of Circleville, located on Lancaster Pike, 740-477-2541. 740-477-2541.
Circleville Subway is a proud sponsor of the OCU Trailblazers Basketball Network. Subway, eat fresh.
Service Master Clean by Todd George. They will help you get clean and stay that way at work and at home. 740-687-1077. Fairfield Christian Academy has a K through 12 program that's committed to molding young minds to have a Christian worldview while providing an education of excellence. Learn more at fairfieldchristianacademy.com.
If you're enjoying today's game, watch it again at trailblazerbasketball.tv.
Rick Cooper back here in the Maxwell Leadership Center. We're at halftime where your Lady Trailblazers lead the Lady Jags from Johnson 38-31. OCU shooting 41% from the field in that first half. More importantly, they hold Johnson to only 36%. And maybe most important, they only turn it over 4 times in the first 20 minutes. Anytime, even if you shoot it at a 41% clip, you only turn it over 4 times in 20 minutes. You're going to give yourself a chance to win. And not only are they winning, they're winning by 7. A nice run late in that first half to extend the lead. It got up to 10, 38-28, but 3 late for Johnson has cut it to 7, 38-31 here at halftime. Scoring numbers in that first half. First of all, for Johnson, it was Whitney Moore, their starting center, that got off to a good start tonight with 10 points. Maddie Philippi, their leading scorer, added 8, 5 apiece for Kaylee Carter and Amanda Scheich. And Anna Fales, the sophomore who comes off of Doug Karn's bench, came off that bench and had 2 points in the first 20 minutes. Johnson 9 of 11 from the charity stripe for 82%. For OCU, 9 different Trailblazers scored. Kara Zwick had the best first half, 11 points, but got in foul trouble with 2 fouls and sat much of the second part of that first half. 8 for Chelsea Black, who played well, got inserted into the starting lineup on senior day, combined with the fact that Asia Woodson not able to go today with an eye injury that she suffered Tuesday night against Alice Lloyd. 7 for Shelby Rowe, 4 apiece for Maritza Will. Will the only one with 4, I take that back. Sarah Bechtel, Olivia Davis, Caitlin Danner with 2 apiece, and Tiaja Smith split a pair of free throws to finish with 1. OCU 5 of 7 from the charity stripe for 71%. In terms of foul trouble, definitely something to keep an eye on. Amanda Scheich with 2, Maddie Philippi with 2 on the Johnson side, and then for OCU, Tiaja Smith and 3 frontline players, talking about Olivia Davis, Maritza Will, and Kara Zwick, all with 2 fouls apiece here in the first half. And so again, even as deep as Mandy Ray is, you got to believe that could be a factor here in this second half. 38-31, OCU by 7. When we come back after this 60-second timeout, we'll check in with OCU soccer coach Josh Merton to find out what's going on in the world of football, as they call it, across the sea. We'll check in with Josh Merton from OCU soccer coming up after this 60-second timeout here on the OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network.
You're watching the Trailblazer Basketball Network. The OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network, brought to you in part by
Domino's Pizza of Circleville, located on Lancaster Pike, 740-477-2541. 740-477-2541.
Circleville Subway is a proud sponsor of the OCU Trailblazers Basketball Network. Subway, eat fresh.
Service Master Clean by Todd George. They will help you get clean and stay that way at work and at home. 740-687-1077. Fairfield Christian Academy has a K-12 program that's committed to molding young minds to have a Christian worldview while providing an education of excellence. Learn more at fairfieldchristianacademy.com.
If you're enjoying today's game, watch it again at trailblazerbasketball.tv.
Well, obtaining a college degree is important to me because I'm a single mother. I work full-time and I want a better life for me and my son, and I realize I'm the only one that can do that.
I needed the convenience of being able to work full-time, as well as still get my bachelor's degree in psychology, as well as be a part of a family and be a wife.
Obtaining a college degree to me means that I can further my career in getting a better job, as well as meeting my end goal, which would be to become a professor someday.
Here at Ohio Christian University, we offer programs in a convenient format to help serve the adult that might not have time to go to school during the day or take classes multiple days during the week. We offer classes one night a week. You take one class at a time, either in an on-site format, or if you prefer online, we offer online classes just the same, one class at a time.
The AGS program is set up to where it's very convenient for me as a working adult to be able to still obtain my bachelor's degree.
The flexibility is very good with the AGS program. I can do my homework whenever I have time, whether it's at night or if I'm up early in the morning, I can do it at that time. And really, you can work a full-time job and go to school full-time at the same time. So convenience is one of the greater advantages to the AGS program.
The sky is the limit with the flexibility at Ohio Christian University.
You have the option to attend class at one of our 12 locations, and you can choose whichever is most convenient, closest to your home or closest to your workplace. If that doesn't work for you, you also have the option to take class online without ever having to step foot into a classroom. One other neat aspect is that you only have to register for all of your classes one time. There's no standing in line and no additional waiting.
We invite you to attend Ohio Christian University.
Both of us long-winded. Hopefully this is it. Back here in the Maxwell Leadership Center, we're at halftime. Rick Cooper and the OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network. Lady Trailblazers built a 10-point lead late in that first half, but Johnson with a little mini run has cut it to 7 here at the intermission. And Josh Merton, the OCU men's and women's soccer coach, joins us to tell us a little bit about what's going on with that program. But I saw you sitting up there watching this first 20 minutes. Let's get some insight from a soccer guy. What'd you like in that first half, and what concerned you?
They can't bring it in the paint. Don't bring it in the paint. Olivia Davis has got that down pat. Between her and Zwick, don't bring it.
She's pretty athletic. I mean, the left hand, can shoot it with the left hand. She was blocking shots. I said Davis is about as athletic of a player as Mandy Ray's had in 7 years. Would you agree with that?
I would agree, and she's a competitor too. She's such a fighter. You gotta love to have that on your team, you know.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on with OCU men's and women's soccer. Obviously, the men, 4 straight national tournament appearances, 4th this year, but his team has played for the national championship. What is the state of the union, if you will? What's going on with men's soccer, first of all?
Well, with men's soccer, you know, we're just gearing up and ready to go again. I've had a good recruiting year so far.
Okay.
We've had 5 guys already commit. We're looking to have probably another 4 to 5 more probably sign on. And we're getting some guys that are playing at a high level, playing at a Hilliard-Davidson type school.
Okay.
So from a recruiting standpoint, we're doing well. We're doing a lot of off-season workouts, heading up to a tournament up in South Bend, Indiana this next weekend for indoor.
Okay.
So we're going to be playing some NCAA Division I schools, so that's going to be a good challenge for us, but we need that.
How much has the last 4 years changed recruiting? I don't know. How much on the map is OCU now when you go to a Hilliard-Davidson? Are their kids more familiar with OCU than maybe where they were a couple years ago?
It's getting there. It's definitely, before it was kind of like, who are you and what are you doing? What's this about? And now it's kind of, we're getting more of a name.
Okay.
So it's making things a little bit easier from that aspect.
Where are your roots? I mean, are you doing most of it in Columbus, or are there other areas that you have ties that you've had some success?
Mostly Columbus. We also have been hitting up the Dayton and Cincinnati areas pretty hard.
You've got ties to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Now, I remember that you worked at UC a little bit, right?
That's right. That's where I graduated from. So I've got some connections down there, and I coach in the Olympic Development Program, and so I get a lot of connections through some of those those areas through that.
How many guys do you lose men's soccer? You talked about having 4 or 5, needing a couple more. How many come back? And who are the top returnees that fans should keep an eye on?
Well, we lose 3 guys. Top returners would probably be right now Stephen Fabian, our goalkeeper. He's a 3-time All-American.
That's pretty good.
Yep. Yeah, he's all right. We have Tyler Shepard, who will be a returning senior. Starter, plays at right D. Then we have Jake Morrison, a returning senior, and he's kind of, right now, he was more of a defender, but now he's kind of a jack of all trades.
Okay.
Kind of can move around, so that's big. We've got Caleb Williams will be returning back for us. He had the most minutes he played for us last year. Alex Marstiller, who's one of our fastest guys, he's coming back. So we've got a great core coming back. It's just we do lose a couple of All-Americans, with Emmanuel Harris and Dave Blamo. How can I forget Dave Blamo?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I want to have time to talk women. I see this clock going down, but I also see your schedule in terms of men's soccer in front of us, and talking to you off the air just seems like a more concerted effort, as we've seen with men's basketball, a little bit with the women, to kind of raise the bar, if you will. Can you talk about what scheduling looks like next year, Josh?
Well, for the women, we're definitely having more of a focus on playing NCCAA Division II schools. So we're really making a concerted effort to playing them and a lot of the schools from the kayak and the NAI, so the Bereas, the Brescias, those schools. The men's soccer, this is the toughest schedule we're going to go up against. We're picking up Waynesburg University out of Pennsylvania, Division III, Campbellsville University, who finished 3rd in their conference behind Rio Grande and Lindsey Wilson. So I mean, that's just kind of a Marion University out of Indiana.
Okay.
So we're
as Dickie V would say, there's no cupcakes on this schedule. I mean, it's one after another, and
yeah, we don't want cupcakes. we want to be going out there every day to be challenged. So that's what we want.
Battle tested come tournament time, I'm sure. Real quick, just women's soccer. I know didn't make it. My alma mater has done a little bit of work here. KCU is obviously, like you, trying to build a program. Your thoughts on them and what lies ahead with the women?
Well, KCU is doing a really good job with Josh Miller down there, doing a really good job building that program. And I'll tell you what, they're making it tougher and tougher each year, but recruiting was kind of slow to start off with, but right now, the way things are rolling, it's a snowball effect. We've got about 4 or 5 girls that are coming in, and we've got another 3 or 4 that we're looking at seriously, and it's looking really good right now.
And I guess my last question is, the horn sounds, but the challenge to juggle the 2 of them, is that something that's common in other programs, or are you a rare bird to try to juggle the men and the women, and what does that do to personal life? And I mean, it's got to be a challenge, no?
I'll tell you what, I have to be married to a really good woman, I'll tell you that. She's patient and great woman. I have to be, it starts there, so, but it's difficult, but we I got good people around me.
Sure, that helps.
It helps out a lot.
And good kids. When you're not babysitting them, you're coaching them.
That's right. That is so true. So,
Coach,
yeah,
we appreciate what you do here. Looking forward to next fall and appreciate you coming by.
Thanks, bud.
It's the head coach of the OCU men and women's soccer programs, Josh Merton, one of the good guys, one of many here in this athletic program that is taking that program to new heights, and excited to see what they have in store next fall as a jumper to begin the second half by Kara Zwick comes up short, and it goes out of bounds back to the Lady Jags. Johnson leads 38-31 with 19:35 to play here in this second half. Just underway, Rick Cooper and the OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network. Thank you. Left side, it's Anna Fales. Fales picks up her dribble, goes back out to Carter. Carter into the lane. Her runner hit the side of the rim, no good. Nobody boxed out Fales. Her putback was no good, and rebound Shelby Rowe, and Rowe's outlet. Some miscommunication there between Rowe and Black. An unforced error is going to give it right back to the Lady Jags, who trailed by 7. 38-31 was our halftime score. Scoreless here in the first 47 seconds as Philippi fired an NBA-like three, no good. Into the lane, bucket was good, but they're going to call an offensive foul on Kaylee Carter. I think it was Tiaja Smith or Black. I couldn't see it. One of them was there to draw that charge on Kaylee Carter, and that's a big call when that bucket goes in. Foul on Carter is her first and the team's first. They wave the basket off, and OCU with a chance here to extend on that 38-31 lead. Left wing, it's Tiaja Smith. Smith to the baseline, and Kara Zwick. Back out to Rowe, left side Smith. Here's Zwick again. Into the lane, back out to Smith. 15-footer, side of the rim, no good. And Maddie Philippi runs down the rebound. Philippi to Tiaja Smith, and a foul is going to be called on whom? Who are they going to get here? It is going to be Tiaja Smith, I believe, from OCU, and Philippi did a neat thing there. It's one of the things I'm trying to teach my boys at home. If you've got somebody that's on your tail like that, slam on the brakes with the basketball and force them to run into you. And that's exactly what Tiaja Smith was doing right on Maddie Philippi's backside, and Philippi kind of changed pace and forced that foul, literally forced the official to make that call on Tiaja Smith. 18:25 to play in the game. 38-31, OCU by 7. Left baseline, Philippi working that baseline, kissed it off the glass, no. And Shelby Rowe outworked Johanna Couch to grab the rebound. Smith to the right side, Black, cross court to Zwick. Shows jumper, went into the lane and dropped it up and in. 13 for Kara Zwick. She has really been the big spark for OCU in this game. And 11 early in that first half until she got slowed down by fouls. 40-31, 17:45 to play. Couch with 13 on the shot clock, guarded by Will. Tried to get it back out to Carter, and she's going to have to go behind the timeline to grab it. And no OCU player touched it. It's an over and back. Right back to the Lady Trailblazers. So they dial up a little bit extra defensively as Maritza Will applying pressure, and it leads to a Johnson turnover. 17:35 to play, OCU by 9, 40-31. Right wing, it's Tiaja Smith. Smith into the lane, drops it off for Black, who fires a three and hits. Chelsea Black in double digits with 11. She has been a big, big spark in this basketball game, and may I say it one more time, it is a good sign when the streaky shooter Black is shooting it well come tournament time. Carter into the lane, tried to kiss it off the glass, and she shot it a little bit too strong. Rebound Kara Zwick. Black top of the key to the right wing Rowe. Thought about a three, instead one dribble, and now fires. Right side of the iron, no good. It went out of bounds off Kara Zwick, back to Johnson. 16:52 to play, 43-31. Trailblazers lead is a dozen. It's senior day here at OCU. Lady Trailblazers going to recognize 3, and the men with 2. 3 left side by Fales is no good. Rebound Black. Trailblazers looking to run. It's a 3-on-2 break. Smith to Zwick. 12-footer up. Back rim no good. And Philippi the rebound for Johnson. Susanna Fales. Fales trying to get the step on Rowe, created some space, jumper no good. Offensive rebound Fales. Here's Philippi for 3, no good. And Kara Zwick the rebound. Zwick to Black, it's 2-on-3. Black setting up Rowe, thought about a 3, but Whitney Moore closed out quickly. Black again, she hit a 3. 14 for Chelsea Black. She has been sensational in this basketball game for OCU. Caitlin Danner at the table for the Lady Trailblazers. She'll check in at the next break. 46-31, the lead is 15, and Philippi just collided with Tiaja Smith, and it's a turnover. Zwick to the other end, beat him down the basket to the basket and put it in. Doug Carnes needs a timeout. This thing is snowballing. It is 17, 48-31, 15-27 to play in the game, but it looks like he's going to let him play. Trailblazers on a 10-0 run, and it's an offensive foul on Kaylee Carter. It is her second and the team's second, and may I say it again, Doug Carnes needs a timeout. It is a 10-0 OCU run, and there it is with 15-19 to play. I've got such a big mouth, I imagine the coach heard us. 15-19 to play. Carnes going to try to stop the bleeding. It is a 10-0 OCU run to start this second half. They have exploded and expanded their advantage to 17. Today's game is brought to you by Domino's Pizza in Circleville. They've got that handmade pan pizza special. It comes with 2 layers of cheese, toppings to the edge, and a crust made from fresh dough. A medium 2-topping pan pizza's only $7.99 at Domino's Pizza, 207 Lancaster Pike in Circleville. The phone number 740-477-2541. Domino's Pizza is the official pizza of OCU Athletics. 15-19 to play. Trailblazers lead is 17, 48-31. Rick Cooper in the OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network. It's great to have you with us. First of 2 today. We'll be with you basically. We'll live in this gymnasium next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for the entire Mid-East Region tournament. Zwick, left wing, 3, she hit again. It has been Kara Zwick and Chelsea Black today. 32 of OCU's 51. And the Trailblazer lead is up to 20. It's 51-31. Right side, Carter. Dangerous pass deflected in the hands of Moore. Moore tried to get into the lane and drop it off to Johanna Couch. And it's a good idea by Moore, just did not execute. Couch wasn't ready, and it goes out of bounds back to the Lady Trailblazers. The lead is up to 20. Johnson still has not scored here in the second half. 51-31. OCU now on a 13-0 run. Danner underneath. Dropped it off to Zwick. Into the lane, no, but she was hammered, and she will shoot 2. I believe it's going to be Philippi that is going to be charged, and it is. It's number 3 on Maddie Philippi. It's number 3 on the team. So Philippi with 3, Scheich and Carter with 2 for Johnson. Will and Davis with 2 for OCU, and the point guard Tiaja Smith with 3, and the first free throw is up and in for Kara Zwick. Olivia Davis in, Maritza Will sits down. Kara Zwick now with 19. One more for Kara Zwick, the senior from Harrison, Ohio. Bends the knees and hits again. 20 points for Kara Zwick. Destiny Turner has checked in as well, the freshman from Harvest Prep in Canal Winchester, hounding Maddie Philippi as she brings it up the floor. Philippi to Carter, back out to Moore, catch, fire, 3, hit the front of the rim, no good. Black the defensive rebound. Black to Danner. Danner, little stop, little start. Whitney Moore blocked her shot, but back into the hands of Black. Shot clock does not reset. It's at 20. We're under 14 minutes to play. Davis into the lane, no, and they're going to call what? An offensive foul? I believe is going to be the call, as Whitney Moore was there to draw the charge. The foul on Olivia Davis is number 3. It's number 2 on the team. Anna Fales will sit down for Johnson. As back in is Amanda Scheich. Scheich back with 5 points and 2 fouls. Anna Fales sits down with 2. 53-31. It's worth mentioning again, OCU on a 15-0 run to start this second half. Johnson has still not scored, and we've played better than 6 minutes. Scheich top of the key. Scheich to the right baseline, and Johanna Couch. Couch one dribble, back to Scheich. 8 on the shot clock, working against Davis. Nearly lost her balance. Ball on the floor, taken away by Davis, but then intercepted by Philippi, who drops it off to Whitney Moore, who put it in. 12 for Whitney Moore. 13:25 mark is when Johnson scores. It ends a 15-0 run. Kara Zwick just hit another 3 at the other end, and Zwick with 23 points in this game. I said it when Zwick had left this team momentarily, not momentarily, for a period of time, a late first semester, early second semester, how big of a loss that would be. Really felt it in that first KCU game when Monica Stevens had an All-American-like performance. What a blessing it is to have Zwick back in uniform helping this team. Cut by Black is no good as she put it up, and a foul by Kara Zwick as she hammered Whitney Moore, who had just grabbed the basketball from Black. Third foul on Kara Zwick, 3rd on the team, and not sure anybody is happy. Mandy Ray not happy. Doug Carnes not happy. The Johnson fans not happy with that foul by Kara Zwick, but 56-33, the Trailblazers by 23 as Zwick and Whitney Moore really going after each other on the left wing, and a blocking or a travel is going to be called on Caitlin Danner. And Danner now having words with one of the men in stripes. Felt like she was pushed to the ground, but Lucas Tuggle doesn't change his call. Zwick will sit down as Sarah Bechtel is back in, and that ends the most physical part of this game, as Whitney Moore and Zwick were really starting to get into it away from the basketball. Runner in the lane is up and in by Kaylee Carter. Give her 7 in the game. It's 56-35 as we near 12 minutes to play in the game. Bechtel for 3. On the rim, no good. Davis, an offensive rebound. Davis, a reverse layup. She dropped it in. 4 points for Olivia Davis. OCU 58, Johnson 35. Whitney Moore to the left wing, and Philippi. Philippi into the lane, and she was fouled by Caitlin Danner going to the rim on that left side. Foul on Caitlin Danner is number 2. Number 4 on OCU as a team. Here comes Taryn Forsythe, the 5'7" sophomore from West Mansfield, returns scoreless. Whitney Moore will sit down with a dozen. Moore really got off to a hot start early in that first half and has cooled off considerably. Philippi a quick catch and fire. That 3 no good. Couch an offensive rebound. Here's Carter from 18 feet, no good, and Davis the rebound, and Davis an outlet to Chelsea Black, and that basketball ends up right near us at the table, and it'll go back to Johnson. So good hustle by Chelsea Black, and I'm glad she slammed on the brakes when she did. So 11:34 to play. Banner has come down, and it's all fun and games till we lose our broadcast banner. 58-35, 11:23 to play. Right baseline, it's Forsythe again. Not too far from here, and now West Mansfield, Ohio is Forsythe. To Carter, back to the baseline, and Forsythe back out top of the key to Carter. That pass deflected, it ends up in the hands of Caitlin Danner. Destiny Turner, Caitlin Danner, Sarah Bechtel, Chelsea Black, and Olivia Davis on the floor right now for OCU. The Trailblazers lead is 23. Bechtel thought about a long 3. Instead, the dribble drive set up Davis now to the right baseline, and Danner, who caught it with a foot on that right sideline right in front of some of the Johnson fans, and The turnover will give it back to the Lady Jags. 10:47 to play. (58-35) is our score. Maddie Philippi on the right wing. Out to Forsythe, around the horn of the left wing, and Carter. Carter thought about a three and then fires a three and hits. Kind of showed three to see how Destiny Turner would react, and when Turner didn't react much at all, Carter said, I'm going to raise up, and she tripled, and at the other end, Maddie Philippi and Caitlin Danner tied up, and they've got a technical foul on Caitlin Danner. See what they got here. I think they're going to call a foul on Maddie Philippi, but then maybe a technical foul on Caitlin Danner with the retaliation. And it's the referee, Ron Dent, along with one of the umpires, Lucas Tuggle, that are going to discuss this. The foul is going to be charged to 22 Maddie Philippi. It's her fourth and the team fourth. And now the question is there a technical foul? 10:16 to play, 58-38, and now they're going to talk about it. It is, I think, going to be a technical foul. It is. It's going to be an elbow that's going to be charged as a T to Caitlin Danner. It'll be number 3 on her. It counts as a team foul as well. OCU not going to shoot free throws because Johnson was not over the limit, so that's why we shoot the technical here first. It'll be OCU basketball after these technical free throws. The first one in by Maddie Philippi, and the second one in as well. She has 10 points in this game, and it is now 58-40. Philippi will sit down as Anna Fales is back in, so 10:16 to play. Danner, Bechtel, Turner, Black, and Davis remain on the floor for OCU. Inbound to Davis, to Danner, and she traveled. She was going to go around the horn with the pass, and when she went to make that pass, she realized Amanda Scheich was right there and was going to intercept it, and probably made the right decision. Instead of a turnover that leads to 2 at the other end, she kind of holds the basketball, shuffles the feet, and will at least make Johnson work to earn those 2 points instead of an uncontested layup at the other end. Carter into the lane, went to the left hand and put it in. Destiny Turner was applying pressure. Turner fell down, and Kaylee Carter attacked the basket and went to the left hand, and no help there from anybody wearing the Trailblazer white. Underneath, it's Danner. Danner into the lane, little turnaround, no good. Davis kept it alive, but it goes out of bounds off of Davis, back to Johnson. Lead is 16 as we are under 10 minutes to play in this game. First of 2, the OCU and Johnson men will get underway. A win in that second game by the OCU men would give them a 10-0 record in Mid-East region play, which would be the second undefeated mark in the region in school history. They did it a season ago as well. Carter to the left wing, and Anna Fales. Fales working against Danner, and she threw it away. Threw it right into Olivia Davis. Davis didn't catch it, but Sarah Bechtel picked it up, and we'll get credit for the steal. Bechtel will get it to Danner, who will set things up for OCU here. 9:08 to play. Trailblazers by 16, 58-42. Off a screen, it's Black. Left wing, it's Danner. Danner down the left baseline. 10-footer is up and in. Nicely done by Caitlin Danner, who under control penetrated and left herself a pretty good look from 10 feet. 60-42. Carter again will shake and bake to the right wing, and Forsythe. Now to Scheich. Back out to Forsythe to the right elbow. That's Johanna Couch. Here's Carter again, who just hit a 3. Kaylee Carter with 10 in the second half, 15 for the game, and she is single-handedly keeping Johnson at least within striking distance, down 15, and 8:20 to play in the game. Left baseline, it's Olivia Davis. Davis tried to get it underneath to Danner, and that ball loose. 3 players on the floor, and it ends up in the hands of Amanda Scheich. Shike, an outlet to Carter. Carter into the lane, put it up on the rim, no good, and the rebound into the hands of Sarah Bechtel. Bechtel to Black. Trailblazers jogging it up, looking for something in transition. Danner for three. Backside of the rim, no good, and the rebound into the hands of Kaylee Carter. 7:45 to play in the game. 60-45, 3 subs at the table. Whitney Moore for Johnson, Tasia Smith, and Katie Fuller for OCU. Carter left wing, still guarded by Destiny Turner. Carter looking to back Turner down and kicks it back out to Johanna Couch. Forsythe, right side jumper, no good. Couch had a hand on it, but it ends up in the hands of Olivia Davis, and I believe they've got a loose ball foul on Amanda Shike, and they do. It's number 3 on Shike. It's number 5 on the Trailblazers. Whitney Moore back in with a dozen. Tasia Smith and Fuller check in as Destiny Turner and Chelsea Black sit down. It's Johanna Couch that sits down for Johnson. 7:15 to play in the game, 60-45. OCU by 15. Off a screen, Tasia Smith, middle of the floor, and an offensive foul. As waiting there was Taryn Forsythe to draw the player control, and that is number 4 on Tasia Smith. See if Mandy Ray elects to let her play with right around 7 minutes to play in this game. It does not look like anybody coming to the table for OCU, so Smith going to stay in this game with 4 personals, and in a dangerous spot here, hounding Kaylee Carter, bringing it up the floor. A foul here would end her night early, and it just did. And that's going to be it on Tasia Smith. That is number 5 on the freshman from Gahanna Lincoln High School. And that's a situation there where you've got to know how many fouls you've got and not pick up one 47 feet away from the basket. 6:50 to play, 60-45, and Kaylee Carter going to go to the line and shoot a 1-and-1, but they have just informed Mandy Ray that that is in fact number 5 on Tasia Smith, and so they start the clock. You just saw that thing developing with Tasia Smith hounding Carter, bringing it up the floor. Just felt like the whistle was going to blow any second, and it sure did. So Katie Fuller checks in. Fortunately, it's a 15-point game, but you sure don't like the thought of not having your point guard if Johnson could answer with a little mini run of their own. Free throw is up and no good by Kaylee Carter, so the Trailblazers get a break there as it would have cut it to 13 with a couple. Instead, the lead remains at 15. Kara Zwick to the right wing, and Bechtel. Bechtel traveled with the basketball and smiled as she did it. Tried to make a move, and the feet got ahead of the brain there as Sarah shuffled the feet, and it's a turnover right back to Johnson. So OCU, the big storyline in this game, a 15-0 run to start this second half. And if it wasn't for that 15-0 run, we'd be tied right now. They really got hot coming out of the halftime, and it has made all the difference in this basketball game. They lead 60-45 as we near 6 minutes to play in the game. Right wing, it's Sarah Bechtel off a screen from Davis. Will fire a 3, in and out. No good. Davis, an offensive rebound. No. Danner, an offensive rebound. She put it in. So Caitlin Danner, who did much of her work in that first meeting when OCU won by 20 in the lane, 17 points, most of them from the inside, gets one here, and at 62-45, Fuller going to go to the other end, and she missed the left-handed layup as it'll stay with OCU. Somebody lost a shoe out here. They're going to call a timeout. It was Katie Fuller who tried to go to the rim with one shoe and make a left-handed layup, and Fuller with a big smile on her face as she lost it near midcourt. So that's why she missed that left-handed layup, was trying to do it off balance with one shoe. Ball went out of bounds off of Johnson. It'll stay with OCU with a fresh 30, 5:42 to play in the game. Doug Carnes and the Lady Jags will appreciate this extra break, as Carnes here with only 7 girls in uniform, and he just said, I'd like to extend this break a little bit. Let's take a full timeout. So 5:42 to play in the game. OCU by 17, 62-45. Let's take a 60-second timeout. This is the Ohio Christian University Trailblazer Basketball Network.
Ohio Christian University offers accredited, career-focused undergraduate and graduate degree programs for busy adults. Classes are convenient, offered online or evenings and weekends at our 12 locations. OCU will prepare you for your next step and help you discover your higher purpose.
We invite you to attend Ohio Christian University.
There's a happy fan on your TV screen. Young man just won a free Domino's pizza as part of the loudest fan contest at most home games. Domino's Pizza sends a couple pies in, and they give them to the 3 loudest fans in the Maxwell Leadership Center. There's that young fella. He's got a lot more people sitting by him right now, JT, now that that large pizza's in his hands. So everybody's a friend when it's kind of like winning the lottery. Kara Zwick caught it and dropped it in. 25 for Kara Zwick. Appreciate Domino's Pizza and their support with our loudest fan contest all season long. Domino's Pizza, the official pizza provider of the Trailblazers, and Kara Zwick just picked Kaylee Carter's pocket and used her body to keep the basketball away from Carter as she dropped in another. Kara Zwick with a game to remember. The senior from Harrison, Ohio, with a game-high 27. We're going to talk to Kara Zwick if we have any say in the matter. She'll have the Senior Day festivities, but we're going to try to get a headset on the senior transfer from Cincinnati State after this one is over. Trailblazers lead is 21, 66-45 as we go under 5 minutes to play in the game. Danner with it between the circles. Right wing, it's Zwick. Back out to Danner. Trailblazers in no hurry here. Shot clock down to 10, and a kick with 9 on the shot clock will extend that shot clock a little bit. They're going to put, 15 back on it. That's the rule. If it's kicked with under 15, it goes back to 15. Anything higher than 15, and it stays right where it is. Couple subs for both teams as Danner and Bechtel sit down for OCU. Shelby Rowe and Chelsea Black are back in. Quick fire by Zwick, and she hit again. 29 points for Kara Zwick. She has been fantastic. The only thing that has stopped Zwick today was when she picked up that second personal foul. Nobody in blue has slowed her down. 23-point advantage, 4:20 to play in the game. Trailblazers are going to get their 7th win in 8 games and their 17th win overall. And Zwick a rebound. Quick outlet to Rowe. It's a 2-on-1 break. Rowe with the left hand of the rim and put it in. 9 for Shelby Rowe. 70-45. Under 4 minutes to play. We'll talk to Mandy Ray as well. We'll do that at halftime of the men's game so that we've got a chance to do a full interview with Ray. That'll be coming up again, halftime of the OCU and Johnson men. 3:43 to play in the game. Trailblazers by 25. And a jump ball is going to be called. The possession arrow will keep it with Johnson. It's probably worth mentioning that the Lady Jags had 31 points through 20 minutes. They have scored 14 points in the final 16 minutes and 22 seconds. So Trailblazers have dialed up some more defensively, and Johnson, with only 7 girls, just runs out of gas as Philippi came up short on the 3. And that was the one big thing that both of these coaches talked about as I prepared for this broadcast, as Fuller goes to the other end for her first field goal. Both talked about the OCU depth. Doug Carnes, as he tries to rebuild this Johnson program, it's the one thing that has kept them from being competitive for 40 minutes with OCU and KCU, has been their depth. They'll play tough for a period, but they kind of just run out of gas, and they have done that here today in the Leadership Center. The positive, if you're Johnson, is they get 6 days off. They've got to travel home and then travel back here on, Thursday. I'm sure they'll make the trip up, but as Chelsea Black guilty of a foul here, it's her first, team 8th, and Kaylee Carter to the line for 2, but there are no games Tuesday is my point. They get a little bit of rest and maybe come in here a little bit fresher next week to do this again. It's kind of a unique story. I don't know that I've covered a situation like this where as Shelby Rowe and Chelsea Black and Kara Zwick get brought out of this basketball game with 2:56 to play in the game. Black only a junior, but it's going to finish up early, and it's going to be recognized as part of the Senior Day festivities as well. As Carter puts in the second, she has been the big bright spot for Doug Carnes' squad, as Carter now with 17 points, one of 3 Lady Jags in double figures. 72-47. Gadsden will fire a 3. It's a long 2, I beg your pardon. Foot on the line for the freshman from Richmond, Virginia. It's 74-47. To finish that thought, I don't know that I can remember a situation where 2 teams played consecutive games against each other. That's what's going to happen here. Neither of these teams have a game before next Friday in the Mideast Region Semi. So, JT, keep the same exact logos you used for this pregame. We'll be using them again together in 6 days in the Mideast Region semifinals. Jackie Wright going to check into this game, and so is Taryn Aiden, the freshman from Canal Winchester. She, like Destiny Turner, a product of Harvest Prep. Carter's first free throw is up and in. $18 points in this game for Kaylee Carter. Carter's second one is good again. So Kaylee Carter with a team-high 19, Kara Zwick with a game-high 29 for OCU. 74-49, the lead is 25. Aiden with it to the left baseline, and Brittany Rucker, who fires a 3, no good. And the rebound into the hands of freshman Whitney Moore. Johnson with the loss is going to drop to 11 and 13 as Philippi went to the left hand in the lane, no good. Carter's put back, no. Couch an offensive rebound, and she dropped it in. First 2 for the freshman from Gloucester, Ohio. We told you in the pregame, mom, dad, brother, sister, all Johnson graduates. As an older sister, Katie, that is in school at Johnson as well. Gadsden a 3, straight away, no good. And Wright slapped it out of bounds back to Johnson. Couch, an interesting story. Parents were missionaries in Africa for an extended period of time, and want to say hello to older sister Faith Couch, a friend of mine from our days back at Round Lake Christian Camp. Met Faith there, and what a neat girl, Faith Couch. Minute 30 to play. She, too, a Johnson grad. I can't remember. I think Faith played for this program as well. A foul called with a minute 29 to play, and it's going to be charged to number 5, Shawan Gadsden. It's number 1 on her, number 10 on the team. And so Johanna Couch will go to the line and shoot 2. The first one is no good. The second free throw is good, and according to my numbers, that's the first made free throw of the season for Johanna Couch here on the 16th of February, 74-52. As we close in on 60 seconds to play in this basketball game, Trailblazers again going to win for the 7th time in 8 tries. Their only blemish here Tuesday night to Alice Lloyd as Aiden fires a 3, no good. Turner's putback is up and in. First 2 for the 5'5" freshman from Canal Winchester, Destiny Turner. 60 seconds exactly to play. We'll have an abbreviated post-game show. They'll have some Senior Day festivities that we'll try to keep an eye on and listen in on as much as we possibly can We'll give you some of the final numbers and then turn our attention to the OCU and Johnson men that will follow probably about a half hour from now. Brittany Rucker, offensive rebound. Got the OCU bench excited the way she rose up and grabbed that one, but had a right foot on the sideline, and that's a turnover back to the Lady Jags. 76-52, about a 6-second differential between shot clock and game clock as Whitney Moore catches and fires a three, no good. Rebound Gatson for OCU. Now the shot clock is off. Trailblazers can hold it without shooting and get out of here with win number 17, and that looks like what Destiny Turner's going to do. The Trailblazers are going to get win number 17 as they win this afternoon by the final of 76-52. They improved to 17-11. They improved to 3-1 in the Mideast region. Johnson with the loss drops to 11-13, and they finish Mideast region play winless at 0-4. Coming up, the post-game show, we'll take a look at the final numbers and maybe, just maybe, get a headset on the senior Kara Zwick, who had 29 today to lead OCU to that 17th win. That coming up on the post-game show after this time out here on the OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network.
From Ohio Christian University, it's the Trailblazer Basketball Network. The OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network, brought to you in part by
Domino's Pizza of Circleville, located on Lancaster Pike. 740-477-2541. 740-477-2541.
Circleville Subway is a proud sponsor of the OCU Trailblazers Basketball Network. Subway, eat fresh.
Service Master Clean by Todd George. They will help you get clean and stay that way at work and at home. 740-687-1077. Fairfield Christian Academy has a K-12 program that's committed to molding young minds to have a Christian worldview while providing an education of excellence. Learn more at fairfieldchristianacademy.com.
Thank you for watching the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
As we enter these last days, we must train this generation now.
That God wants us to be real in this day.
I am a strong supporter of Christian education. Challenge the mind.
Our future depends upon Christian higher education.
Biblical values.
The future.
As the campus continues to grow,
new buildings and a record enrollment.
Good, sound Christian leaders.
Building a place that is making a difference in the lives of students.
Business leaders, educators.
And he's trying to raise a generation of men and women who will stand and say, I will be counted for Christ. No game playing anymore.
Because the next generation is going to affect our world today.
A world needs to hear that Jesus Christ is the hope.
From Ohio Christian University, it's the Trailblazer Basketball Network. The OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network, brought to you in part by
Domino's Pizza of Circleville, located on Lancaster Pike. 740-477-2541. 740-477-2541.
Circleville Subway is a proud sponsor of the OCU Trailblazers Basketball Network. Subway, eat fresh.
Service Master Clean by Todd George. They will help you get clean and stay that way at work and at home. 740-687-1077. Fairfield Christian Academy has a K-12 program that's committed to molding young minds to have a Christian worldview while providing an education of excellence. Learn more at fairfieldchristianacademy.com.
Thank you for watching the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
Ohio Christian University offers accredited, career-focused undergraduate and graduate degree programs for busy adults. Classes are convenient, offered online or evenings and weekends at our 12 locations. OCU will prepare you for your next step and help you discover your higher purpose.
We invite you to attend Ohio Christian University.
From Ohio Christian University, it's the Trailblazer Basketball Network. The OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network, brought to you in part by
Domino's Pizza of Circleville, located on Lancaster Pike, 740-477-2541. 740-477-2541.
Circleville Subway is a proud sponsor of the OCU Trailblazers Basketball Network. Subway, eat fresh.
Service Master Clean by Todd George. They will help you get clean and stay that way at work and at home. 740-687-1077. Fairfield Christian Academy has a K-12 program that's committed to molding young minds to have a Christian worldview while providing an education of excellence. Learn more at fairfieldchristianacademy.com.
Thank you for watching the Trailblazer Basketball Network. You're watching the Trailblazer Basketball Network. The OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network, brought to you in part by
Domino's Pizza of Circleville, located on Lancaster Pike, 740-477-2541. 740-477-2541.
Circleville Subway is a proud sponsor of the OCU Trailblazers Basketball Network. Subway, eat fresh.
Back here in the Maxwell Leadership Center, hopefully we can get a shot, camera guys, maybe of the seniors being recognized on the floor right now for the OCU women. The rest of the team out there, parents out there, celebrating the accomplishments today of Chelsea Black, a junior from St. Paris, Ohio, that is going to graduate early, and so her college basketball career will end at the end of this year. Kara Zwick, the two-year player from OCU that transferred in from Cincinnati State, that exploded today for a game-high 29 points. And then there's Shelby Rowe, the probably the four-year player. Again, Mandy Ray talked about it pregame, got within 2 points of a national championship. They lost 72-70 her freshman year to KCU up at Philadelphia Biblical University, but back in November of this year became the school's all-time leading scorer, surpassing the great Brenda Carter Baker, Brenda Carter Baker, yes, I said that right, who did it in 3 seasons here at OCU, did Brenda Baker. So they continue to recognize those ladies, and the OCU men will be recognized at some point. I see Milan Kostoff and James Nelson over on the other side of things. I thought they were going to be recognized now as well, but that may happen here after the ladies leave the floor. But there's a good shot of Zwick and Black and Shelby Rowe, and it'd be great to have all 3 of them playing well come tournament time. Of course, Shelby Rowe, again, 3-point specialist. Kara Zwick left this team earlier in the year, but has come back, and you saw it today firsthand, what she can do. And then Chelsea Black, we said, really a streaky shooter that had that run last year in January, February, that run of a couple weeks where I have never seen a Division II athlete shoot the basketball like Chelsea Black did. Against KCU was in that stretch. match. And the big one was UC Claremont when she wasn't even hitting the rim that night. Chelsea Black scored better than 30 points in that game against UC Claremont and looked pretty good tonight. Did Black when she had 14 points and shot it really well. And so the Trailblazers win for the 7th time in 8 days, 8 games. They win game number 17 here in 2012-2013. And the Mid-East Region Tournament is next for the Lady Trailblazers as they will take on this same Johnson team in this same building, same bat time, same bat channel next Friday at 6 p.m. in the Mid-East Region semis. We'll have that game with live video for you here on the OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network. Some final numbers in this game real quick. Again, maybe the big one is to remember this was a 38-31 game at halftime. It was even closer than that for most of the first half, but OCU went on a run, a 10-0 run to end the first half. Johnson answered with 3 right before the horn. It made it 38-31, and then OCU in that first, 6 minutes and 35 seconds of the second half went on a 15-0 run, and they opened up a big lead that Johnson was never able to respond or rebound from, and OCU wins by the final of 76-52. Johnson only 23% shooting in the second half, only 30% for the game. The Trailblazers a blistering 52% from the field and 46% for the game en route to the win. Battle the backboards. Johnson won that. No, they did not. I beg your pardon. Read the stat sheet right, Mr. Cooper. 43-22. The Trailblazers a plus 21 rebounding margin. They force 24 Johnson turnovers, and again, behind Kara Zwick, 29 points, 7 rebounds, 12 of 16 from the field, 2 of 2 on threes, 3 of 3 from the charity stripe. Zwick in 19 minutes tonight, 29 points, 7 rebounds, 3 steals, and 2 assists. And the other seniors, let's mention Chelsea Black at 14 points tonight, 4 of 7 on threes, and Shelby Rowe added 9 points in this basketball game, 4 of 9 from the field. She had 9 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals. And so you put all those together, let's test my math skills. That's 52 points between the 3 graduating players on this OCU team, talking about Chelsea Black, Shelby Rowe, and Kara Zwick. So OCU wins the first one, 76-52. Again, a rematch in 6 days here at 6 p.m. in the Mid-East Region semis. We hope you'll tune in then. Right now, we're going to take a 2-minute timeout. 2 minutes. When we come back, we'll get you set for the OCU and Johnson men that are on the floor getting ready for game number 2 in our doubleheader. OCU wins 76-52. You heard it here on the OCU Trailblazer Basketball Network.